Alright, it's time to start putting on this high steer arm kit. It's from Beyond Precise. It's got lower and upper plates and then this side piece that goes in there. It comes with 2 of these for a spacer between the 2 plates. I'm using one on the other knuckle right now. And then this piece goes on top to make it double shear over wherever you're trying to put it. You can set and weld that one. It comes with 2 bolts, and this is the one for the one I'm doing. So my axle is from a 98, and it's a slight difference than the kit they sell. Their kit goes up to a 97, and then from 99, I don't know what the difference from the 98 is, but you can see there's a gap here. So this knuckle is a little different. Like I said, I don't know why this 98 one is different than the rest of them. But for the most part, everything else fits, except there and right here. You can see how this one tends to have an angle going down, and this plate is flat. This part really isn't an issue. I can just put a plate in there, just slide it in front of me and weld it on. The biggest problem for me is going to be figuring out what I'm going to do here. I don't know if I want to try to cut a piece of plate and clean it up or fill it with weld. I don't know what to do yet. On all these kits, you're always going to have to grind your knuckles some or grind your plate some, something to make it fit. They all seem to fit a little bit off. Like I said, almost every brand, every kit, there's something you're going to have to grind. So I'm going to try to grind some of this to see if I can slide this in some to close some of this gap. You can see up here, there's still a little bit of room there. I had already ground this top part to flatten it out some. And a little bit from right there. Like I said, I'm just trying to get this to fit perfectly in here to close up this gap a little bit. Because if it's a small gap, I can weld it without any issue. I got out my fancy cardboard and scissor and permanent marker skills and cut out this triangle. This little triangle will fit right in here, and it'll give me a piece of plate to put right there. I'll just cut that out of some sort of plate and weld it in there. That'll fill the gap. What it's going to do is it's going to allow it to tie in here with no gap, so you can't reach through there, and it'll just give me a spot to weld on this bottom part. Got this gap a little bit smaller. What I basically did was ground out right here and was able to shift this way, which closed it up some, ground a little out there. I made the top piece for right here, right there. So that'll fill that gap in, and we shouldn't be any problem. We can weld across here. I've already tacked this lower plate on, and so now I just need to finish welding it in and get the rest of it put on there. My shop is a mess right now too. Stuff over there, stuff laid out everywhere. It's just ridiculous. All right, both are fully welded now. This one went on no problem. Same thing over here. The gaps on the this side right here were not an issue, and on these top pieces with that piece I put in there, I didn't love how it was fitting, so I went ahead and just cut a little gusset and added to this back side. It'll just help grab on the knuckle itself and that top plate, so it'll keep it a little bit stronger. One thing that's nice with these is you can run pretty much any size heim. This is a big old 1.5" heim. You need the right misalignment. You could run small ones, 3/4 inch, and then you can also use this piece up top if you want your heims up top here. One-handed, this is hard, but with proper spacing and that piece, you can double shear and run those up there, out there. You would end up blocking this bolt, but it would you'd have to run it upside down. But anyway, there they are done. Not too bad. One thing I did do is I took a level and put it across the front. I dropped it, is what I did do. Put it across the front right here, and I measured to make sure that the gap here and up there were the same. That way it was straight with the surface where the wheel's going to mate, basically, which I know the wheel doesn't mate there, but it gives it a flat surface and everything's in line. So there you go. Shouldn't be too hard. Anybody can put one on. I went ahead and put the knuckles on. That way I could check the fitment. Got plenty of movement between, or gap between the tires, should I say. You can fit my whole hand in there. Same thing, both sides. That's another reason why I made sure that these were aligned out, because if I had set them crooked, they could have potentially come in and touched right there, which would obviously be a bad thing. I have the tie rod mounted on the top. It makes it so that I clear this diff pretty well. I run a single-ended hydraulic ram, and I may change how it's mounted. There was originally my old front axle mounted here and then to the truss. So, but I may with this somehow mount it directly to the knuckle, pushing off of the axle, either below it with some sort of guard down here. I'm not sure yet. But as far as the knuckles, everything went clean, welded on good, and I got plenty of room. I still need to pull them off and paint them. And I have these knuckles on my Cherokee buggy, which I have lifted way up right now. So this will give me some nice high steer for my buggy.